Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it may be where you are, I'm glad that you're here to spend a couple of minutes with us. The following presentation is not sanctioned by any political party. It's not been written by anyone other than me. These are my views. My heartfelt desire is that you'll listen to them and then form your own decision. These are mine. Quick word of announcements. The slides do not flow as smooth as they should. Please bear with me on that. But one other thing, I'm currently looking for 10 individuals who would like to improve their financial well-being, their physical environment, and also to have some spiritual growth. If you're interested, contact me, d3teamrigs.com. Discover the power of D3 in your life. I voted. I hope you did too. And with my vote, I made a statement of some things that I hold dear. I'm proud of the fact I voted. It's something that we as Americans do. Some see it as a right. I see it as responsibility. The power in America is vested not in the president and vice president or the Senate or the House of Representatives or even in the courts. At its base is we the people. We the people have to decide who's going to be our leaders. And we do this by the votes we cast. Kamala Harris has had an application in for presidency for 3+ years now, as she served as vice president. During this time, she has supported open borders. President Biden appointed her as the border czar, and she said nothing except open the borders to illegal immigrants, illegal aliens who have come to this border unvetted, many of them with criminal records, many of them committing crimes after they got here. A very destructive policy. This is deadly. This is what destroyed the Roman Empire because no longer was Rome Rome. They were this mass horde that came in and upset the whole apple cart to the detriment of everyone. She has expressed a desire to limit free speech. What the party wants is for any speech that is not along party lines to be banned. Call it misinformation. I would not have under them the right to say what I'm saying today. I wouldn't. This is not America. We have the right of the freedom of speech. She wants to curtail the Second Amendment as much as possible. For all the rhetoric she gives is saying that she and Walz are, well, we're gun owners. Look at it carefully. No, they want to curtail the rights of the Second Amendment. They want to jail political appointments. This is why a 75-year-old man who really has done nothing to warrant it has had a SWAT team show up at 3 in the morning with sirens and guns and total chaos, embarrassing him, embarrassing his family, upsetting the neighborhood, making a public spectacle, all because he's a political opponent. That's not America. And yet, under Biden-Harris, that's what we have become. Biden-Harrisnomics, well, quite frankly, they stink. Take a look at your gas pump. Look at your grocery bill. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? I think for most of us, the answer is no. Do you want another 4 years of this? It will only get worse. She is unstable in her beliefs. She says whatever whoever is listening to her wants to hear. She'll be for fracking, then she'll be against fracking, then she'll waver back and forth. She wants the vote. But who she is, you have to look back a little bit further before she became the presidential nominee and see what she was for or against then, because those values have not changed, and they aren't going to change. As she has said, she would not change anything that she and Biden have done because they've done it together. You want 4 more years of that? She promises to be a change agent, but all we have is what she's already done, and we can see the results of that. Without a pre-scripted prompter, she can't really talk. She makes an incomprehensible word salad. Um, and when asked a question, she won't answer the question. She will give some comment that is kind of a standard comment, but well, I'm a member of the middle class. It doesn't matter what the question is, and she avoids anytime she can be away from a prompter. She doesn't do those things. They won't let her do it. She is a product of the media. The media and the Democratic Party have made her the candidate. And the image we see is not the image that she is portraying. And we're going to get the real thing, not the image. She wants to stack the Supreme Court with more justices. This gives more power to the Democrats that they can pass laws that can change the Constitution. And the courts will then rubber stamp it. And as the old saying goes, the list of the things wrong with a Harris Waltz ticket goes on and on and on. Although she has not accomplished a worthwhile project in the past 3+ years, she has had an accomplishment. I want to give credit where credit is due. She has proven herself as an accomplished liar, although that's really not to her credit. Also, she cackles well. Do you want a world leader who cackles? Well, I don't. She was not chosen through the voting process. She and President Biden were chosen through the process when the Democratic convention voted them as president and vice president to run as a joint ticket. Then, when it seemed that Biden would not be able to maybe get the reelection, they chunked him and installed her as a presidential candidate. Um, the party didn't vote for her. She was appointed. That's not the way the system is supposed to work. And then she went and chose a self-proclaimed knucklehead who is as far left as she is as a running mate. Harris Waltz are to the left of even Bernie Sanders. We don't need that in our country. She would be a disastrous choice for our nation. And quite frankly, would cease to be a nation which is equipped for the future. And the future is very uncertain right now, and it'll become more uncertain under their administration. Being a sane person who loves our nation, there's no way I could ever support Harris and Waltz. Donald J. Trump's application is his serving 4 years as President of the United States. He has been consistent in his message then and now. He made some poor choices in his first go around as president because he listened to advisors and appointed some people who should not have been in government. They were a detriment. But he was new to the political arena, and we have to allow him that thought, those mistakes. But he's been consistent with his message of where he's going and what he wants. He's a constant that we can depend on. Harris on the other side is like the wind, blowing this way and that way, unstable. Despite the efforts of many on the left, Democrats and Republicans, or at least those who call themselves Republicans, they worked in his first term administration to undermine his presidency. They tried to impeach him. They've tried to assassinate him. They've prompted and talked about it openly. and encouraging people to go out and take a shot at Trump, literally. That's not America. No new wars. Trump started none. He ended some. In the Middle East, he got different factors together to sign the Abraham Peace Accords to bring peace to the Middle East, not war. Biden and Harris, well, by their actions or inactions, they foster wars. But then the defense military complex that makes money off of war, well, they're in favor of that. Trump's worked to secure our southern border. He didn't get it finished because he ran out of time in his office. When Biden and Harris came into power, they canceled it. Harris sold the border wall as scrap metal. That's money that taxpayers paid for that wall. And she just tossed it aside. Trump is pro-growth. His policies unleash economic growth in our nation and gave an opportunity not to just a few, but to everyone. We lost that when he left office. The unemployment rate for African Americans fell to 5.9%, which is a record. We also had record unemployment for Asian and Hispanic Americans and for other Americans as well. We need those years back. When you've got a job, you can pay the rent and you can buy groceries. Trump defended the right to life and to religious liberty. These are things that are part and parcel of being America. He worked to keep our communities safe. The FBI says that in his administration, crime actually went down from where it had been. We need that again. We need the rule of law applied fairly across the board. He ended the devastating defense cuts that weakened our military. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "Walk softly, but carry a big stick." The big stick is so that your enemies don't come and try to beat you with their sticks. Trump, as a man of peace, wanted a strong military to keep us safe, to keep the peace. We need that again. He protected American sovereignty from attempts by the United Nations to undermine it. The United Nations would like to have a one world government, and they're the government. America is a sovereign nation. We're a nation of freedoms that other places in the world don't enjoy. That's why we're America. Trump has worked to keep it like that. Biden and Harris do not. So, what do you want for you and your family? Open borders, the chaos that comes with that, the criminality, the rampant criminality that we see on our streets now, where laws are not enforced, where criminals can get away with it. During the quote summer of love, um, the Antifa and the BLM people who were burning down things that they were ever arrested, uh, Harris actually raised money to get them set free again. Do you want wars or the threat of wars? That's what you get with Biden and Harris. You want a communist style oppressive government where the government tells you what to do, what to think, what quality of life you're going to have. It may make it easy for your choices because you don't have a lot of choices left. Is that what you want? Do you want devastating inflation? That's what we're headed toward. Do you want an economic collapse due to the incompetence of the people who are currently leading in our administration? Do you want a weak nation? One that is laughed at, manipulated by other governments? Maybe you do. Some people act like it. Or do you want secure borders with controlled immigration? The rule of law applied fairly and consistently. Peace without appeasement. A democratic republic with a capitalist system. Do you want to put an end to crippling inflation, an end to all the things that are causing us to not be the nation we can be? Do you want economic growth for all Americans? Do you want a nation that is a leader in the world and also an example to others to come, follow us, and be free peoples? You may not have voted for Donald Trump. That's your right. Now, if you didn't or don't plan to, then I assume that you may be a Trump hater, one who hates Donald Trump. Hate is a poor way to make decisions. Perhaps you hate our nation, our Constitution, or our values. There are those who claim to be American citizens who are American citizens who do hate these. They want a socialist or a communist type of government, and they try to get it in whatever way they can. It's your decision. Maybe you get your information from the liberal media, from liberal friends, um, and you believe their lies. And I've listened to them, and I've heard the lies because I've heard the other side too, and I've evaluated the two. Or maybe you have another reason for not supporting Trump. I can understand that. That's your right. But if you voted for Harris Waltz, you have made a disastrous decision for our future, and we'll pay for it. Thank you for being together with us for this few minutes. If you're one of the 10 that I'm looking for financial growth, physical health, spiritual growth, contact me, d3teamriggs.com. Discover the power of 3 in your life. May God bless you, your family, and may God bless the United States of America.